Hi, this is Backyard Brian, and tonight we have an episode repotting on a budget. So we're going to repot a plant and show you how we do it on a budget. And we have one of our guests tonight is Bentley, Backyard Bentley. He came to visit us. I don't know if you noticed, but him and I both got a haircut this week. So we're looking dapper, and we coming to see you and to help you have beautiful blooms in your garden. Okay, bye-bye, Bentley. Okay, so we're going to try and show you how to repot a plant on a budget and also something that will be functional for your yard. These pots, when they're filled totally with dirt, they can be very heavy. So we're going to try and show you how we can do something to decrease their weight. And also it'll save you money because the thing that we're going to use in order to decrease the weight cost less than it would if we had to put dirt in the whole pot. It's probably a 14-inch pot. Some of the pots I have are 21 inches wide. So what we do is we fill the bottom with a filler that doesn't cost much money, but yet takes up space. I happen to use soda bottles, and I put them in the bottom of the pot. And this way it takes up the space, but you can use any plastic thing. This is a holder that a plant came in, a pot, and if you want, you can crush it a little. And if you want to put it down so that it's not up, if you put it up, the dirt will go into fill most of the pot, which will not accomplish what you want to do. So you're going to turn it down, and you're going to just squeeze it in the bottom of the pot. And then you just add whatever bottles you want to get the desired height of the dirt. So you also need to judge how deep your plant is. If your plant is about 4 or 5 inches, you can go a little bit further than that and leave the width around it so that you have a good setting. So if we go like this is a good height for this plant. So now we're going to fill it up with dirt. And what some people do is you can take the plant out of the pot, put the pot in there, rest the plant there, and then fill it up with dirt. And if you put the pot here, it'll save the spot where you're going to put the plant eventually. So now we're going to put the dirt around. So you just work around where you're going to position the plant. And this stops you from trying to find a spot for it. So now I'm going to take the plant. We're going to remove this pot. And now the spot is there for this plant to go in. Okay? So this way it's nice and neat, and you save the weight of the pot by using the plastic in the bottom of the pot. Okay, so we save money by using the plastic. It's cheaper than the soil, and it allows drainage, and it's much easier to carry. If it was all dirt, it would be probably twice the weight that it is now. So not only were you able to save money doing this, you were also able to have mobility. You can put this anywhere you want in the garden. You could put it and move it very easily. Anytime you replant something, you should water it right away. Just water the flower after you transfer it from one container to the other. It's very important because you don't want the plant to go into shock. You want it to grow and flourish in its new container. Okay, so you give it enough water that it soaks through the pot and it's sufficiently wet so that it can start growing in its new pot. I'm going to talk about another thing that we have in the garden, but this is a house plant. So this is an orchid, and as you can see, there are a lot of buds on it, and it's partially bloomed. What I've experienced with buying orchids, that if you buy them with the whole thing bloomed, it would only last a month to 6 weeks. By buying this plant partially bloomed, it extends its shelf life in the home from 6 weeks, a month to 6 weeks, up to 2 to 3 months, or even 3 to 4 months, because by the time these blooms fade, these start growing, and before you know it, the time lapse of the plant blooming turns from 6 weeks if you bought it fully bloomed to 3 to 4 months if you do it this way. This is something that I've learned from dealing with orchids. Orchids are a strange plant. They only get watered once a week. So what I do is every Saturday, and you can pick whatever day of the week you want, you put 1 ice cube in this size orchid, but there are orchids that are 3 or 4 times this size, and they recommend 2 ice cubes once a week, but I always give 3. I always give them the benefit of the doubt of a little extra. But on this one, I just give the 1 ice cube once a week, and every Saturday I go around my house and I water all my orchids that way. And they're very great houseplants, very beautiful, very colorful, and there's a large array of them. And once you find a spot in your house that they do well, they don't like to be moved. So like on a windowsill, on a kitchen windowsill, or in the living room, if you have a bay window. I have a bay window in my living room, so the resident plants of the bay window shelf and also the kitchen shelf. And we try not to move them, because if they get moved too often, they don't do well. They do better in a stationary place. Okay, so as we talked about in my first video about sunflowers, we have a contest. This is the prize. It'll be given away when I get 100 subscribers and 250 views. In order to enter the contest for this prize, you have to enter the word bloom in the comments on this video or on my first video about sunflowers, and please subscribe. Going forward, we also have further videos about the progress of the sunflowers. This happens to be one of the plants we're going to be featuring in that next video, and on future videos on sunflowers. Thank you for joining me this evening, and I hope your garden is very, very beautiful at this point and everything is blooming.